Now proceed to consider the recommendations of your Committee on Foreign Affairs for the Commission's consent to the appointments of 8 officials in the Department of Foreign Affairs. I so move.
Any objection? So hearing none, the consideration of the recommendations of the Committee on Foreign Affairs is in order.
Mr. President, I ask that Senator, your chairperson, Senator Panfilo M. Lacson, on your Committee on Foreign Affairs be recognized. I so move.
Our Chairman of the Committee on Foreign Affairs, Senator Lacson, is hereby recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues. This representation as Chairman of the Committee on Foreign Affairs presided over a public hearing this morning to deliberate on the nominations of 9 ambassadors extraordinary and plenipotentiary of the Department of Foreign Affairs, 4 of whom are career officers of the department, while the other 5 are political nominees, and 1 foreign service officer. Your committee, after deliberating on their qualifications and fitness during this public hearing, determined that they are fit and qualified to be in the posts where they are nominated, and therefore ruled to recommend to the plenary their nominations for the consent of this body. To this end, it is my honor and privilege to recommend that the Commission give its consent to the nominations of the following DFA senior officers, namely, number 1, Ms. Grace Relucio Princesa. I first known Grace in one of the Inter-Parliamentary Union's meetings in Geneva, Switzerland, which I attended in 2005. She made a quite good impression over an unforgettable breakfast of tinolong manok she prepared for us in her humble abode. I said unforgettable breakfast kasi sino ba naman yung makakalimot ng tinolong manok sa almusal? Anyway, more than a decade has passed since then, but my good impression of her remains. She is known for her remarkable nationalistic fervor that earns her the moniker Babaylan from Albay, or a Filipina warrior. Her experience in foreign service, spanning 31 years, has afforded her recognitions in her diplomatic career, particularly for protecting the rights and promoting the welfare of our overseas Filipino workers. While serving as a consul in 1994, our nominee was recognized for her feat in handling the highly publicized case of Sarah Jane Balabagan, an OFW in the United Arab Emirates initially sentenced to death in Guyana, the Republic of Suriname, and the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. I so move, Mr. Chairman.
There is a motion for the Commission to give its consent to the appointment of Ms. Marichu Barredo Mauro, Chief of Mission Class 2, as Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary to the Federative Republic of Brazil, with concurrent jurisdiction over the Republic of Colombia, the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, the Republic of Suriname, and the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved.
Our next nominee is Hjayceelyn Mancenido, Quintana. Mr. Chairman, our nominee holds an impressive academic portfolio. She has a diploma in diplomatic studies from Oxford University in the United Kingdom, a recipient of the British Chevening Scholarship, an awardee of the Anthony Green Prize for Best Research Paper, and a Fulbright Scholar of the Master of International Public Policy from the Paul Nice School of Advanced International Studies, Johns Hopkins University in Washington, D.C. In 1992, she ranked first place in the Foreign Service Officers Examinations and started her diplomatic career as a director at the Office of the United Nations and international organizations. From then on, she had several important posts overseas, particularly at the Philippine embassies in Beijing, China, Washington, D.C., and Dublin, Ireland, before her most recent nomination to the United Arab Emirates post. Among her many contributions were the high-impact projects that strengthened ties among Filipino-American groups. These included the launch of the Philippine-U.S. Congressional Caucus at the U.S. House of Representatives and the commemoration of the 100th anniversary of Filipino migration to the United States. She also worked on the finalization of important diplomatic agreements between China and the Philippines, Finally, it was during her stint as Consul General that the first president of the Philippine Embassy was opened in Dublin, Ireland in 2009. Mr. Chairman, it is my distinct privilege and honor to recommend that this body give its consent to the appointment of Hjayceelyn Mancenido Quintana as Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary to the United Arab Emirates. I so move, Mr. Chairman.
There is a motion for the Commission to give its consent to the appointment of Ms. Hjayceelyn Mancenido Quintana, Chief of Mission Class 2, as Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary to the United Arab Emirates. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is hereby approved.
Our fifth nominee is Ms. Linglingay Fonacier Lacanlale. Ms. Lacanlale is an old hand in the Department of Foreign Affairs. Her foreign service career started in 1979 as the Principal Assistant of the ASEAN National Coordinating Agency of the Philippines. She held key positions through the years, including offices overseas, such as the Philippine Embassy in Vienna, Austria, the Philippine Consulate in New York, United States of America, and the Embassy in the Kingdom of Thailand, before retiring from the service in 2013. In 2014, she was appointed as the Undersecretary for Administration of the DFA, which remains to be her current post, having been reappointed by President Duterte in 2017. Her notable consular work has influenced milestone policies, including the United Nations Commission on Narcotic Drugs in Vienna's adoption of the regulation on the use of ketamine, an anesthetic substance widely used by drug dependents. She also worked with Filipino-American organizations in New York to fill the human services gap for the underprivileged Filipino-Americans residing in the city. As the Undersecretary of the Department of Foreign Affairs, she has been cited for streamlining the procurement process, establishing an ISO-certified quality management system, and strengthening the institutional foundation of the department. In her years of experience, she received a department award for distinguished service in 2013, a royal decoration of the insignia of the most exalted Order of the White Elephant in 2012, and the Gawad Mabini Dakilang Kamanong Award in 2012, among others. To this end, Mr. Chairman, I am honored to recommend that this body give its consent to the appointment of Ms. Linglingay Fonacier Lacanlale as Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary to the Republic of Argentina, with concurrent jurisdiction over the plurinational state of Bolivia, the Republic of Paraguay, and the Oriental Republic of Uruguay. I so move, Mr. Chairman.
There is a motion for the Commission to give its consent to the appointment of Ms. Linglingay Fonacier Lacanlale as Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary to the Argentine Republic, with concurrent jurisdiction over the plurinational state of Bolivia, the Republic of Paraguay, and the Oriental Republic of Uruguay, with the salary and emoluments of a Chief of Mission Class 1. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is hereby approved.
Mr. Chairman, it is my distinct privilege as well to recommend that this body give its consent to the appointment of Mr. Cesar Hiong as the Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary to the Republic of Indonesia. I so move, Mr. Chairman.
There is a motion for the Commission to give its consent to the appointment of Mr. Cesar Hiong as Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary to the Republic of Indonesia, with the salary and emoluments of a Chief of Mission Class 1. Is there any objection? Hearing none, motion is approved.
Mr. Chairman, it is likewise my distinct privilege to recommend that this body give its consent to the appointment of Attorney Ombra T. Jainal as Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary to the Czech Republic. I so move, Mr. Chairman.
There is a motion for the Commission to give its consent to the appointment of Mr. Ombra T. Jainal as Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary to the Czech Republic, with the salary and emoluments of a Chief of Mission Class 1. Is there any objection? Hearing none, motion is approved.
Mr. Chairman, our last nominee is Ms. Rowena Mutia as Foreign Service Officer 4. Mr. Chairman, Ms. Mutia lives up to her last name as being one of the pearls or beloveds. English translation for Mutia or Minumutia of the Office of the Solicitor General. Our nominee started her career as an underbar at the Valenton Danganan Law Office. She joined the Office of the Solicitor General a year after she passed the Philippine Bar in 2009 and is presently holding the position of Associate Solicitor 3. She passed her Foreign Service examinations in 2015, but reportedly deferred her entry to the Department of Foreign Affairs as she was recently promoted at that time as Associate Solicitor 3 at the OSG. With her competence in the field and professionalism, her colleagues at the OSG believe that her impending transfer to the DFA is a great loss to their office. Mr. Chairman, it is my distinct privilege and honor to recommend that this body give its consent to the appointment of Ms. Rowena Mutia as Foreign Service Officer 4. I so move, Mr. Chairman.
So there is a motion for the Commission to give its consent to the appointment of Ms. Rowena Falconitin Mutia as Foreign Service Officer Class 4 in the Department of Foreign Affairs. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved. Thank you to our Chairman, Senator Lacson.